Hello everybody and welcome back to Pravus Gaming and more Plague Inc. Evolved Custom Scenarios. I am back after my, epidemic, hospital trip kind of sucked. And it looks like they still have not updated the popular tab properly in the game, so that is unfortunate. That said, I do have a few things on the list for today. Today, we are going to be playing Cold Hands. There you are, 4 stars right now. Deep within Siberia, a group of hunters found a pair of severed hands buried in the snow. The authorities were informed, and the site was secured. After days of inspection, no other body parts were found, and the pair of hands were transported to Moscow for further examinations. The hands have a constant temperature of around minus 150 degrees Celsius. Good lord, that is cold, and by no method they can be warmed up. Very fragile, easily damaged, transport further studies. Lucky for you, the infected by a strange type of pathogen. Okay, so inside a pair of disembodied hands found in the snow is a pathogen that will try to destroy all life. First scenario by Cold Hands. All right, let's give it a shot. It is a bacteria type. ATP boost, aronist, aquastatic humophile, and symptostasis are fine, normal difficulty, and cryophilia pestis. Cryo, of course, having to do with the cold. Cryogenics and stuff is a field that really would interest me if it were, making a few more technological leaps. Welcome to my first scenario. The disease that I created is well suited for cold climates and does not thrive well in hot ones. Can you infect and eradicate all life on Earth? There is a special hard-to-get ending. Well, I gotta look for that. Possible murder in Russia. A pair of severed hands have been found buried in the snow. The authorities were informed of the find, and the hands were transported to Moscow. Unfortunately, the hands were infected by a strange type, misspelled, of pathogen that managed to infect somebody during their discovery. You'd think that they would drop the whole murder, concept, the theory, once they discovered that at minus 150 degrees Celsius, it could not for the life of them warm up. That's like permafrost territory, I think. So, yeah, that would be much greater concern to me, personally. Transmissions. We have water and air, fomites, and the zoonotic shift. These are all pretty standard, not necessarily for bacteria, but flipped in like a diagonal mirror for some reason. There you go. Symptoms. We have slow metabolism. Cells produce less chemical reactions, which reduces body temperature. Sounds like sensible, yeah. Blood thermoregulation. Heat exchange caused by blood flow is slowed. My wife has a particularly terrible thermoregulation. I often think that her vascular system could really use an upgrade, but that's not how it works. Rash. Going outside. Infected people spend more time outside walking and training to increase body heat and meeting, as in like eating new people. They're butchering new people. It's a terrible, terrible way to think of it. Drowsiness. Infected people are sleepy and lethargic. All these kind of make sense so far thematically. I appreciate that. We start off with a couple levels of cold resistance, which makes sense. Could go to cold resistance level 3, which is more lethal symptoms and high tier. I think you mean TIER, like a higher tier of transmissions, a higher level, as well as cryostasis. I have no idea exactly what that means. Environmental resilience, just 1 level for the bacteria, that's fine. So where's the secret ending, I wonder? I don't know. Let's see, I don't usually start in Russia. It is humid, rural, and cold. We're going to go for some water transmission to start us off, I suppose, just for that early game transmission. Plague Simulator game goes viral, yes. Apparently, in my absence, since I haven't recorded Plague Inc. in like a week, they had to do an update to the game, so now it's giving me like tips and pop-ups and tutorial stuff all over again, as if I have no idea what I'm doing, which is just, frankly, insulting. Do you want to go for air transmission? I mean, at this stage, maybe not. Let's go for the zoonotic shift and see if there's anything we really care about. Livestock is pretty good if you're going to be in Russia, just because a rural bonus is always nice. So we'll go ahead and pick that up. Again, a common strategy, just try to have as many stacking modifiers in your host country and the surrounding area as possible, just so you can get a really good early spread. Now I think we'll go for some air transmission so I can get on the airplanes as we hit over, almost 200,000 people infected. And you know what? Since we have the symptostasis, we probably should go down for some more of these. Sweating makes sense in the cold countries. That leads to frostbite, the freezing of skin and other tissues. It causes numbness and swelling or blistering of the frozen area. Yeah, frostbite is no joke, guys, but that's a lot of severity. I'm not sure I want that right now. We could go for the slow metabolism since it's cheap. That leads to thermogenin disruption. The production of the protein thermogenin is disrupted, and mitochondria produce less heat. Let's go for the blood deregulation or whatever. Blood cooling. Further disrupted, leaving people with cold extremities and warm torsos. And then there's drowsiness, which I would imagine actually slows down the cure a little bit. But I'm not too worried about it right now. Let's have people walk around outside socializing. Infected people spend more time in company with other people, more effective in the urban countries. See, I like it when socializing gets people killed in Plague Inc., because it totally feels like it justifies my lack of a social life. IRL. Stalking. Oh, well, this escalated. Infected people follow others and force body contacts. Geez, that's called assault, not just stalking. More effective in the urban countries again, and training. Infected people spend more time training and increasing body mass. Less likely to be noticed, more effective in the wealthy countries. That sounds good. Now bodybuilding. Oh, heck yes, I'll reduce my severity a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean completely, in order to get so much wealthy transmission. That's really good. And now, honestly, I kind of want to go for Frostbite since we can afford to have that much severity. So yeah, let's save up a few points. Doop, doop. One more. One more. Yeah, that'll do. Let's go for Frostbite. All right, now we have enough severity, we'll start getting the bonus DNA again, but without massive penalties. And they have discovered me. Too many people were getting swole across Europe. That's what it means. What's this? Skin heat sink. The skin becomes wrinkled and acts as a heat sink. Reducing body temperature, becomes fragile and easy to wound, significantly increasing infectivity. Oh, we have a little lethality. I should be cautious about that. Paralysis could be lethal. Stalking, blood cooling is pretty good, actually. Honestly, we don't really need any of the transmissions here. These symptoms are pretty darn infective. The hands may hold the clue. It appears the severed hands that are located in Moscow are linked with a newly developed disease. Scientists claim that they might be the key to develop a cure. No period. Yeah, you're not wrong. Let's see. We really need to get some heat resistance kind of early on because I suspect we're going to lose out on a lot. Let's also pick up the environmental resilience just because what the heck not. We might as well. And I'm really more worried about Africa and South America, but places like Madagascar could become very difficult to get to if we are not careful. Let's pick up another level of heat resistance, and that should be plenty. I am debating going for some water transmission, even though I just said we probably don't need any more transmissions necessarily, just because I would like to get onto the islands. New Zealand is leading the cure effort. Okay. The tiny bit of lethality we have actually could become a problem pretty quick. Let's go for some fomites just to get the wealthy transmission since we're having some trouble in the US and in Canada. What else exactly are we missing? Yep, New Zealand, Indonesia, Caribbean, and also Madagascar. That does concern me quite a bit. Cold resistance, let's pick it up. Environmental hardening could be useful. This leads to mild hypothermia. Infected people experience shivering and mental confusion. Cryostasis freezes itself solid before releasing lethal proteins in the host, reducing lethality and severity. You know what? I will reduce the lethality, just to try and reduce the likelihood that they shut down. Okay, we got into 2 of those islands. Now we're in Indonesia. It really comes down to the United States and the Caribbean at this point, I think. Let's see. That's very lethal, so we don't want hearth cooling. I think that's supposed to be heart cooling, not hearth. But okay. Stalking is pretty good in urban countries. We'll pick that up. Aggression. Infected people are very susceptible and quarrelsome. They easily attack other people. Let's go for the drowsiness. That leads to insomnia. That leads to headache. All those are just sort of okay right now. We could go for some more fomites, or we could go for a drug resistance at 16 points. I think instead I'd rather go for the fomites so I can get the wealthy and urban bonus as well as some extra infectivity. Training exhaustion combo. Insomnia and intense training leave people exhausted. Decreasing infectivity can be lethal. Decreasing infectivity, no. That's not what I wanted at all. Hey, we got into the Caribbean. What else are we missing? Parts of Africa. I can handle parts of Africa. Let's go for some air transmission. And we could, you know what? I'm going to leave it at that, I think. Let's start working down some lethality routes. Pretty soon we'll be all right. They're working on 28% cure right now. So do we want aggression? Do we want hearth cooling? I think we go for hearth cooling. Muscle cryoatrophy. The pathogen uses proteins stored in muscles for endothermic reactions, causing atrophy and reducing body heat. Very lethal. I'll pick that up. Also, the, I don't care about the skin heat sink. Let's go for the heart cooling. Frozen heart. Heart, not hearth. The hearth freezes solid, causing rapid death. There's the skin heat sink that we were looking for. Now we're just missing out on Morocco, who appears to be shutting down their borders, but I'm hopeful that will be okay. Worst come to worst, if I pick up some birds, maybe that will be enough anyway. Let's go for the frozen heart to slow down that cure even further by, well, killing people. Canada begins to break down. They couldn't handle the pressure, man. Possible patient 0. Scientists believe the hands belong to patient 0 and hope they'll be able to increase their understanding of the plague. I mean, I sort of assumed that these hands have been frozen for a very long time in cryostasis. But maybe I was wrong to assume that. There are no genetic reshuffles, I just realized. That could become a pretty big problem for me. I do not want to reduce lethality. I want to keep it up there. Let's go for aggression, then madness, despair, or coma. Coma would be good to slow down the cure. Beatdown combo. Recent reports show an increased number of aggressions caused by people that train regularly in gyms. That's right. If you get all swole like that, you start to become aggressive. Let's go for the coma. Brain freeze. The pathogen uses proteins stored in brain cells for endothermic reactions, causes ice crystals to be formed inside of the brain. That cannot be comfortable at all. All right, so let's see. Despair mutated for free. Morocco has been infected and seems to be doing pretty well. We've slowed down the cure quite a bit thanks to the coma. Suicide would certainly do the job. I'm going to start hunting for that secret ending, though. Let's see. Let's go for this. Endothermic conversion. Nope, that is all missing. Okay, mild hypothermia? Moderate hypothermia? It's pretty lethal. Severe hypothermia? No. Secrets. Air 3, no. Water 3, infect a random country. I don't see anything there. It's probably right here, whatever it is, but how do you get it? Maybe you have to get all the purple things. Brain freeze. If I can get a few more points, let's try it. A breakthrough in Moscow. Scientists finally finished analyzing the pair of severed hands they possess. Cure research has been increased, even though they are years behind the curve. Yeah, nope, have no idea what that leads to. Huh. Super secret ending, you say. What if I go for cryostasis and reduce lethality? Nope. Okay, well, I have no idea where it is. No healthy people left in the world, so they're pretty much done for. Somehow we weren't able to get that. I can't imagine getting headache changes it, and it does not. Maybe it had to go for the water transmission. Everything, oh, wait. It's turning people into ice statues. Might be close to the secret ending. Well, I was shooting for it. Maybe it had to go for the purple water transmission here. Possibly. I don't know. It's kind of too late now. The Frozen Exhibition. Wait. Oh, maybe it is done. All infected people turned into perfect ice statues, making the entire world a lovely, macabre exhibition. With, 7 billion ice statues across the world. Is that the secret ending? You won! I did discover the secret ending, with only 4 million people alive. But we did it! Oh, wait, they're all gonna die anyway. Nope, a couple 100,000 people survived. They get to enjoy the, ice-capades. Giant menagerie museum of ice sculptures. Tragic, really. 425 days, 55,000 points, a little less than that, actually. 52% cure progress is not half bad for a bacteria type there. Yeah, this is actually a pretty decent scenario. I like the amount of customization. It stuck with a theme, and it made it work, in my opinion. Really, what's to criticize about the scenario? I am curious what those 3 symptoms were that I never found. That's something I'd like to know about. But besides that, I think it was pretty well done. Absolutely, I'll say that I enjoyed Cold Hands. Now, the question is, who do those hands really belong to? What's the story of the hands? No one will ever know. Thank you all very much for watching. I do hope that you enjoyed. If so, then be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.